Hello again, and welcome back to another one. And the timing is off today, but we made it. And we have a couple of topics to cover, including a recent video that sheds more light on what went down between Eminem and Joe Budden that's already changing the narrative based on many reactions to it. And we'll get to why that is in a bit. We also have reactions after the game challenged the Paul brothers to a street fight, and it's quite interesting to see how people are split on this so far, and some have even warned that he could end up like Nate Robinson. And before we dive into the details, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So we'll get games drama out of the way first, and it took to Twitter. Yeah, Jake and Logan Paul meet me and my little brother downtown LA in front of Staples Center, and let's just fight head up phase. No gloves, no money needed, just on some me and my brother will mess you and your brother up-ish. And before we get to Jake's response, fans have gone back and forth on this one. On one end, the user states, people in these comments are acting like Game hasn't been beating dudes up on camera since 05, laughing my bum off. And then on the other end, there's this. I can't stand them, brah, but they both were high-class wrestlers, and now they've been taking boxing lessons. Ish would be tough for y'all, no BS. And the internet is filled with disrespect, as in reaction to that post, a user expands. Better wrestler wins 100% of the time against fake gangster rappers. But Game reacted to some naysayers like this. You and your brother, Game, are gonna be like Nate Robinson. Don't do this. He responds with, boy, you out your rabbit bum mind. And if you ask me regardless, it's not worth the risk. And the user asked Game, bro, what if y'all lose though? But Game's confident. On MLK's speech, I ain't losing. And Jake Paul later reacted with, hate it or love it. You would get knocked the freak out, but Game remains confident. Whichever one of y'all I see first, eating cement. But some believe the Game's got an ulterior motive with this call out. Sad part, I believe him. Game needs to sit his bum down somewhere, trying to get a bag off anybody these days, lol. But regardless, who have you got if this ever goes down? Save your comments for later. Moving on, following the recent implosion of the Joe Budden podcast that we covered a few days ago, the co-hosts have fired back at Joe, and a part of the video has sparked discussions of Eminem and Joe Budden's feud. A user shared this on Twitter with the caption, Marl and Rory now realizing that the person behind the Slaughterhouse/Shady Records fallout was Joe Budden. Guess they had to go through it themselves to wake up.
He had to pull up with Crook. Never put it out.
I watched it.
Never put it out. But
It's a great pull-up.
He said something in that pull-up that when I saw it, it stuck with me. And when the fell apart with us, that played in my head. And him and Crook were talking about, Crook said something to the extent of, but bro, we have a contract with them. We gotta honor our contract. We signed this, we agreed to this, we gotta honor that. And Joe's response was, I don't give a about no contract. I don't honor no contracts. And Crook just laughed like, all right, well, if that's how you feel, what are we even talking about? Like, I can't, it's no talking to you. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I'm like, you don't honor no contracts. Well, here we are today.
For most of us, we already knew about Joe's track record for years, and this clip sparked many reactions like this. LOL, yet people will still blame Eminem for destroying Slaughterhouse. Joe Budden is a freaking joke. No wonder Hov and M stopped doing business with this loser. And after the clip surfaced, some have made changes to their hopes. I don't hate Joe, he's complicated. However, after watching this yesterday, I don't want Slaughterhouse to get back together anymore. I don't want any harm or stress caused to Royce, Joel or Crook. They are great people and thriving on their own. They deserve peace. People had so much hate for Eminem that they completely ignored Joe's history when it was time to throw blame around, and the user expanded on it. I remember Joe complaining about money and M doing nothing. M went on sway and said he had to come out of his own pocket for Slaughterhouse. I tried to tell folks, but they just wanted to kill M. But even the ex-co-hosts are getting some hands, since it is odd that they couldn't see the pattern in the first place. One user stated, they were dumb as hell to not see that Joe was the problem, and on this subject another expanded. I don't know how they looked at his history with Jay-Z at Def Jam, M at Shady Records, and still wanted to work with this guy. Some learned the hard way. Perhaps now that their friendship has taken a hit, they see things clearly, and the user had some words to say about that. So many psychics in here acting like ish wouldn't happen to them, knowing it already did. Stop the cap. When you're friends, you don't see this ish happening because it doesn't even cross your mind that it could. We all have a Joe Budden friend, they just haven't crossed you yet. But over to you guys, what are your thoughts? Comment below and see you on the next one.